Hello and welcome back to another Overcooked Potato. Today we're talking about this week in review with PlayStation news after the drop. All right, so we've got a few things to go over today. There's been quite a bit of news out this week with the PlayStation platform in general. We're going to start off with some of the good news, which is the PS5 is going to be opening up their internal storage upgrade this summer. From an insider, the message was adding support for additional drives will be enabled with a firmware update that also unlocks higher cooling fan speeds to ensure the console doesn't overheat.
Finally.
These people asked not to be named because the plans are not yet public. So,
I didn't even see that part. I just heard about it on social media. So.
Yeah, and this was first broke on Bloomberg. No details have been announced or anything. This is insider information, but seems like it's a pretty reputable source. I'm pretty excited about this one because while it's been fine, we've been making it. Chase and I both have no data cap, so it's not a huge deal. Like, I'm already at 2 terabytes for February. Like,
oh my god, I haven't even looked.
Delete games, re-download them. I don't care, right? But I do. This is huge.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I've got the disc drive PS5 back over there. I don't have any disc games, and they all need to be installed anyways. So like, whatever. Like, I need the space, man. I gotta build up my collection.
Right, and even with the most recent Call of Duty game, even on PlayStation 5 version is up to 133 gigs or something like that.
That's like a fifth of the freaking storage, man.
So yeah, when you're only given right around 660, somewhere around there, that's a huge blessing. Very excited for this.
I'm gonna be dropping some bills on one of those drives.
We're really just waiting to hear what's gonna be available to use. They made it sound like pretty much anyone, as long as it's certified on their list. But I'm curious if they'll do like a PlayStation branded one at all.
Yeah, and I want to know the list because it's like there's sales on those types of drives that would be compatible with it, like right now. And it's like, can I get one now? Please. Before it's too late, or they're hard to get, like the console.
Right. So jumping on to the next one, we're going to be going over a little bit of the state of play that Sony had earlier this week, where they were kind of catching up on some older stuff that hasn't been talked about in a while. There was a leaked list the day of or the day before.
I think it was the day of, like a couple hours before. Unfortunately,
I think in not being able to set good expectations, leaks are always kind of like, oh, okay, and we saw what was on the leak and it was like, yeah, that'd be all right, and then we didn't get half of that stuff, and it was almost like disappointment. But
the leak I sent to you, I was like, bro, I'll be so disappointed if this is it. And then we got the state of play and I was like, man, there's some better stuff on the leak.
Yeah, absolutely. So right off the bat, they started open the show with Crash Bandicoot 4. It's About Time. Going to be upgraded to an actual PlayStation 5 version using the super fast SSD, 4K, 60, bells and whistles.
Yeah. Probably should have picked it up on sale.
I know, that was right around Black Friday or Christmas, $30, and I was like, 30 FPS, PS4 version.
Yeah, I'm not going to put that on there.
Right.
Now it's like, no.
It does look super cool. Unfortunately for me, I'll wait. If it comes on sale again for $30, it's a definite pickup. $60, I'm just hesitant. Right now, I've got such a backlog on stuff, and
same.
With some of the more recent changes that have come out about what's happening with Destiny, I may be getting back into that a little bit more, so I have to figure out how to balance my time. Another thing that they showed, though, Returnal. We finally got to see a little bit more of this. Chase, your thoughts on this thing?
I think it looks super cool. I'm all about like the Lovecraftian kind of like not mystical, but like celestial horror kind of stuff. So they kind of delve into that. Plus it's a roguelike. I know a lot of people are like dime a dozen, whatever, but I enjoy roguelikes personally. I think they're fun when they're set up correctly.
Yeah, me too. And I think there's been a lot more over the years. There was, when it first kind of like hit the scene, I feel like Binding of Isaac was one of the bigger ones that had come out, and
really
Risk of Rain, the first one. Those are some of the early ones, and now it's like so used that people are like, oh, I don't
80s,
really like
Dead
those.
Cells, like everything. Like
Yeah,
everything that's like good from a smaller team is like a roguelike, it seems like.
Yeah.
It's some aspect, but Returnal looks really fun. I really wish it was multiplayer. I'm
Me
just gonna
too.
say it now. Like it reminds me of Risk of Rain 2
Yep.
single player.
Yeah, absolutely.
With really good graphics and style.
Even if they had to do like a minimal like 2 players or something, if there was some
so we could play
network constraints, yes. Like it's just so we could play together. It does look very much like it would be a ton of fun because it's that like third person bullet hell shooter with like random power-ups and pickups and the world changes and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
And like while that's fun to experience alone, like it seems like a really good setting for 2 players. Stuff like Dead Cells and some more structured like 2D games, Binding of Isaac, I don't know how well those would actually work or flesh out as multiplayer, being on the same screen all the time. But like this game, it totally makes sense from each person's point of view. You could be
Risk of Rain 2.
chip and dip.
It just reminds me of that. It just in many ways, but I think it's gonna be really cool, and it seems very cinematic in a way. Like there's a really interesting narrative that I'm kind of curious to look into with the main character and her memories and stuff. But,
Same. Very like felt psychological thriller, sort of like Alan Wake or something like that.
Yeah, actually quite a bit, to be honest.
Moving through this list, though, there was a new Kung Fu game called Sifu. All I really saw was some dude fighting in a hallway, so I'm really confused as to what that is. I kind of put it on my man meter.
Like visually.
The next one was Knockout City, a dodgeball game, and was it like Battle Royale-esque?
Maybe. I don't really know the scope of it, but I mean, I know this is gonna get a lot of flack because it's just like another one of these weird games, but I think it looks cool. Like, why not have an over-the-top dodgeball game? It looks like something that would be on Nintendo, like on a Switch, you know, but it just looks fun. Like maybe it won't even be that good, I don't know, but it looks kind of cool. Like
it did catch my interest for being unique, because
exactly.
Haven't really whole lot of other dodgeball games in general, let alone mini games in actual full-size games or something like that.
Super Dodgeball on Super Nintendo, I think was the last one I played.
Right. So I think there's some experimentation to be done there. There's something that like sets it apart right now, because they're using dodgeball as like the vehicle, which is kind of not literal vehicle, but the anyways,
main mechanics. Yeah. Looks interesting.
That could be really cool.
Yeah, maybe not anything to write home about, but just kind of like a
Yep. Then there was I'm trying to read. So I think the game is called Solar Ash.
Yeah.
We'll definitely have some gameplay or something. This is by the people that did Hyper Light Drifter. I thought it looked pretty cool visually, but more than that, it was another thing where it was like, if this was the first announcement of it, cool. I don't remember hearing about it.
They never showed a lot of gameplay. They alluded to a lot of things. Looks like the Pathless a little bit.
Yeah.
How you zip around and stuff.
Yeah,
but,
it uses a lot of momentum mechanics, I feel like.
But visually, I love the colors, man. Alex Preston, I think is his name.
Mm-hmm.
Great designer, great artist. So I just love to see what his team's doing with 3D instead of 2D. So I'm probably gonna pick it up, even if I don't play it that much. Like every game I buy, it'll just be like it's supporting them. Cool.
Right. Yep. Then after that, they showed a Five Nights at Freddy security breach. Not something I'm big into. Oddly enough, one of my kids is into it. He hasn't played any of the games or anything, but he's into like horror stuff and like scary things. It doesn't bother him at all. So like I may end up picking it up. I don't know. But it was another thing that was like, okay, I guess that's cool, but not really what I would have expected from a state of play from PlayStation.
Yeah.
Then after that, we had Oddworld Soulstorm, which is going to be PS4 and PS5 on April 6th. I think they might have shown some video in the past. I don't really recall a ton of it.
Yeah.
It was neat to see some of the gameplay, but I think as we were talking before, and I was kind of like, oh yeah, I mean, I hadn't seen a lot, and like I was kind of excited. And you're like, it's another Abe's Odyssey or Abe's Oddworld. It's an Abe's game, and I'm like, yeah. I mean, I guess that's true. So it was another thing where it's like, all right, well, where's the big heavy hitters? I want the big games.
Yeah, I love Oddworld and all that stuff. Like I don't want that to be like a thing, but like, yeah, it was just like this again, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, very much so. Like nothing super crazy.
Made in Unity though, right? I think it's made in Unity. So.
I think so. I can't remember. But then after that, they had Kena Bridge of Spirits.
Yeah.
New trailer. This game is definitely one of my most anticipated of 2021.
Same.
We didn't learn a whole lot about it, but dang, was it good looking.
Oh, dude. Yeah. I think you texted me during the presentation. You're like, "This is made by Pixar," because it just like it looks so good. And like my son was watching. Like he's almost 3, but he was just like, he just loves the little creatures and all the colors and everything. But I think one of the biggest surprises coming out of that, and this might have nothing to do with the state of play, but we got the price.
Yeah.
Afterwards on the store.
Yeah, and an official date. Previously, it was listed as like a loose March date or something, but it's going to be August. I don't remember the exact date. I'm sure that'll be flashing up on the screen now.
Yeah.
But $40.
$40.
I don't think that's bad at all.
No. When it looks like that, but then we started talking like, well, how long is it? How big is this? Why is it only $40? You know what I mean? But I'm gonna pick it up. I'm excited to play it.
Yeah,
it
definitely.
Looks so fun.
And I feel like just before we recorded this, I was reading about, I can't remember if it was the devs or somebody else, but they were saying that they tried to price it accordingly because most people will probably be able to sit down and beat it in a weekend. So I'm thinking, that's probably a 5, 10, 15 hour, which I'm totally fine with. A lot about video games really is more about the experience, right? Mm-hmm. I've had tons of games where I've only put in 20 to 30 hours and had a much better overall feeling or rating of the game than games that I put in 100 hours, 200 hours, 1,000 hours.
Well, yeah, some games can overstay their welcome, you know, and I feel like a lot of reviewers had that issue with Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were like, "This is really great," and then the longer it went on, it was like, "Okay, I've done this."
Right, and a similar
Next
thing
game.
too with Greedfall. I recall Skill Up saying specifically that it was like it was really good, the moment-to-moment gameplay and everything, but it was like it was a 10 or 15 hour game stretched out to 30, and it just like got to the point where it's like you're just kind of slogging through it, right?
I've been through a few games like that, like The Last of Us 2. I'm just kidding. Anyway.
So after that excellent trailer, they had Deathloop, which was another trailer. This is a PS5 exclusive by Arcane, who did Dishonored. Yep, Dishonored and Prey. That's what it was. So this is that weird Bethesda company sort of exclusive that Microsoft is now producing for the PlayStation 5. I have a feeling it's just going to be a timed exclusive, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure.
Really, at the end of the day, but they did show quite a bit more gameplay in this than we've really seen before. Yeah. And right after we were both talking about how like we didn't know much about it, and then we started reading about the story, I'm like, I'm semi more interested in it now.
Yeah, I felt like everything I've seen of it, like it's all edited really well with their trailers. I was like, it's very like Tarantino-esque, like Bond looking type, crazy over the top. But then reading about the opponent, the rival assassin, being able to be played by another player online if you're online and stuff, so it almost becomes like a PvPvE type experience.
Yeah.
I'm more interested now, because at first I was like, I don't care, like I'm not a shooter guy, whatever.
Yeah.
But like that alone is kind of like, interesting.
Gives it its kind of like knack, so to speak. Hey, baby.
Knack 3 is in Deathloop.
So the final thing that was announced at this that they closed the show out with was Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. Intergrade. It's so weird. So this is going to kind of be, I don't really know if it's the next expansion or anything, but it's basically a DLC that centers around Yuffie, and I believe Cloud is like, they said he's lost at some point or something along those lines. Yeah. However, this is kind of come under fire for some weird things that we're going to talk about in just a minute. But really the first one is that it's running at a higher resolution. I don't remember if it's native 4K or not, but it definitely looks crispier.
Yeah, it's crispy.
60 FPS, fog
effects.
They're adding fog effects, or they're better. I don't really know, but they had to point them out. So it was really weird. It does look a lot better. I'm excited for that. Yeah. That's super cool. Anybody who purchased the PlayStation 4 version will get the PlayStation 5 version upgrade for free. you will have to buy this separate DLC. However, the DLC seems to be exclusive to the PlayStation 5 as of right now, because it said that you could purchase the DLC once you upgraded to the PlayStation 5 version. So all the verbiage that surrounds it is this DLC is for PS5 only.
Yeah.
Which is,
it's all weird.
Yeah.
It was like at the end of it, it's like PS4 to PS5. Also the Yuffie thing, this and that. It's just, it's like putting red cotton wire to everything.
Yeah.
Like, what am I? What
Charlie
yeah,
Day, like,
yeah. But yeah, it looks really good. Like, and I love Yuffie, you know.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy
yeah,
7,
and
but
I haven't played it, and I don't think you have either, right?
no.
So I was kind of interested. I'm like, PlayStation 5, hey, that's kind of cool. Like, we did miss it on sale again a couple of times. It was $30.
Well, why need it when it's on sale? Because for PlayStation Plus, you get it for free in March.
Sort of. Asterisk.
Dot.
So a little
How's that for a
notation
sec?
down here in the fine print says PlayStation Plus members who redeem Final Fantasy VII Remake PS4 version as a PS Plus benefit are not eligible for the free PS5 upgrade. For that, you will have to pay full price.
I just
I don't understand this decision.
why? Like, I've heard some people say like, well, they're rewarding the people that supported them.
Yeah, they wanted to make sure that everybody that had paid for it gets the upgrade for free.
Yeah, and it's like I feel like you're almost shortchanging the PlayStation Plus people because you don't want to make the other people upset or something. It's weird. Like, how do you do that? Like, how do you have to go out of your way? Is it a different version? Is it the PS Plus version?
That's
like,
my whole thing too. And there was some stir online earlier today about like, okay, well, if
can
you
I
get,
buy the normal version
and that's
after I
it.
have the Plus one?
If you get the PS Plus version, will you even be able to purchase it if it's on sale digitally, or are you
I'm
screwed?
I might not add it to my library now. I don't know.
There's a whole lot surrounding this. I can sort of see it devil's advocate style, like, okay, they give away PS5 specific games every month and only the PS5 version. Maneater was like that. I think the Worms game was like that.
Bug snacks.
But,
Wait, no,
I don't know
Is
if
that
that
on
even came out on PS4, but either way,
yeah.
there is this thing where it's like, hey, you're only getting the PS5 version. So this is almost like the equivalent. You're getting Final Fantasy VII, but the PlayStation 4 version. So you want the real version, you got to pay for it. I just think it's a really weird choice for, like we said, it's an older game. And to be honest, if we got it for PlayStation Plus, awesome. And we get the free upgrade, I'm going to play it. And I'm actually going to immediately plop down the $10, $20, $30 for the Yuffie DLC so that I can play it in the right timeline or whatever. I'm in.
Same.
You've got me sold.
Yeah.
You've got my money.
Yeah.
But now with this no free upgrade, I'm kind of hesitant at all.
Yeah. Maybe it makes me sound like I'm a privileged gamer or whatever. Like, you know, I'm a huge Final Fantasy VII fan. I got the tattoo on my chest. But there's just something about the remake that to me, I'm just like, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth and I can't get it out. Like, everything that happens with it, I'm just like, why did you do that? What'd you do that for? Why are we doing this? What is this? What is this? What is this? And now we get it for free and it's like asterisk, but kind of. Like, and it's like,
well, and that's the thing is, like, you and I have both continued to basically not play it, not out of principle, not because I don't want to play it. It just doesn't look as interesting to me as like my memories of Final Fantasy VII playing for the first time. So, like, it's just not, it's not hitting my hot button or anything, right? So we've continued to put it off. We have the chance to get it for free, which is cool. Not being able to play the PlayStation 5 version seems very weird and odd. And even if, let's say, you get the PlayStation 4 version because you don't have a PS5, you play it, and then the DLC comes out, you know, let's say you play it in between now and then, the DLC comes out, you get a PS5 by then, you want to play the DLC, well, now you got to buy the whole game over again. It's kind of a weird position that they've been put in.
Yeah.
Or put people in, I guess.
Yeah, it is very strange. And like, if I add this to my library, can I not buy the other one when it's inevitably on sale between now and June?
Yeah.
Or maybe it won't be because it's That's the joke. That's how they get you.
It really seems like, you know, for me anyways, now I'm just going to wait until Black Friday or Christmas later this year, once the PlayStation 5 version with the DLC that's included goes on sale for 30 or 40 bucks, and I'll pick it up then maybe. Or maybe I won't. And that's the weird thing is, like, they're kind of, I don't want to say that they're losing money on not doing this, because they're probably gaining it in some way too. It's just, it's a weird stance.
Because we're just talking about paying for it rather than taking it for free.
I do want to get to the rest of these games. So there's a whole lot of weird stuff with this. I'm sure we're going to find out over the next couple of days and weeks whether we are going to be able to purchase it digitally after we, you know, get it on PS Plus, because I think there's going to be a lot of people that are hesitant for that. But so for the rest of the month, we've got Farpoint, which is, I believe, actually a VR game. It's listed as PS4 on this image, but I believe it's a PS VR game. Yeah. So that's super cool. And then Remnant from the Ashes as a PS4 version as well, which I was kind of excited to play. It's at 30 FPS. I'm kind of hesitant about a lot of that stuff. We'll see.
It's a great game, but I do wish they would kind of unlock it.
Yeah, same.
Give me that 60, baby.
I would love to see the developers come back and touch that. I really hope a lot with these PlayStation Plus games in particular. And then also we're getting Maquette, which kind of looks like The Witness, right? It's like a puzzle game. It's kind of in a first person. It looks really interesting. PlayStation 5 version only. It will be on PS4, but you won't get the PS4 version. But I'm definitely interested. So this is another pretty good month, I think, by PlayStation, other than the controversy surrounding Final Fantasy VII. We are getting 2 PlayStation 4 games, a PSVR game, and a PS5 game.
It's a good spread.
Destruction All-Stars is still hanging over from the previous month. So 2
that's
PS5 games, 2 PS4, a PSVR, like, that's actually pretty good. They're giving a lot. Like, February was probably the best month I've seen in forever. This is a great month, and honestly, if the Final Fantasy VII Remake was an upgrade to PS5, this might be the best month, right?
100%.
Like, but I do think
a lot of
that
friends that just got PS5s too, so this is a perfect time.
Perfect time. And they've been doing a lot of sales lately too. I'm trying to get some sales videos out. It's hard to keep up. There's always like 3 rotating sales like going on at a time. This is almost as good as or better than Steam. So I'm pretty excited for what they're bringing, and it's, I think, really come a long way for digital sales and stuff too, because it, you know, somebody that we've both been buying digitally for a long time.
Yeah,
it's nice to finally see that reflected on consoles, like where you see on Steam or Epic or any of these other PC platforms where nobody has a disc drive anyways because you don't want it.
Yeah. It's good stuff, man.
Right. Well, I guess that kind of wraps it up. We're at a little bit of a longer one, but we had a lot of news, and this is kind of a week in review. So if there's anything that you guys think we should cover in the future, let us know down in the comments below. I know we've been doing a lot of PlayStation coverage, but we're looking at maybe getting into Nintendo and some other stuff. But let us know what you think. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to give it a like and a subscribe for more content like this. And until next time, Game Club out.